Last week we talked about the haunted mask. Turns out that same season, just a few episodes later on, they did the haunted mask 2, continuing the story of the haunted mask and Curly Beth. Um, it has that great introductory song, which I really like. I'm not fucking around. That introductory Goosebumps song, I think is great. They show that dog, and then the eyes, flow, and then it's like, oh shit, those eyes are the dog's eyes, and that's, man, I want to know more about that dog. And I asked Tom, does that dog have an episode? He's nope. It's just the shit they did for the little intro. So I was disappointed in that. And the Haunted Mask 2, introduced, of course, by R.L. Stein. He's standing there in front of the masks that were in the store in part one of the Haunted Mask. And so, I forgot what he says because he's very forgettable. As a horror host for his own shit, the dude sucks. The dude fucking boring and so uncharismatic. Weird as shit. It's like, it's your stuff, man. You can't get excited about shit that, like, holy shit, man, they're making like little fucking movies on Fox of my stuff. No, he does. So yeah, here is the next installment of the Haunted Mask. Uh, so it turns out that this haunted mask rises from the grave, Tom. It rises from the grave and goes on to the old man that was the mask store guy. Is that what it was?
He was the mask maker, and now you can see his face is getting more deformed
Hmm.
than it was just that little spot in the last one. Now he's turning even more into a mask, but fuck all that shit because he ends up wearing a mask.
Right. So the haunted mask is pissed that Curly Beth fucking defied the mask in the
And
last
this
one. So
is a year later. This is a 1 year later scenario.
yeah, this is the next Halloween. Okay, and Curly Beth has learned, like, hey, I gotta appreciate this porcelain mask that my mom made of me. That way I can be a two-headed Curly Beth. But she doesn't even wear that. She wears like a chicken suit, right? So
That's
that's
the
her.
one from the last one. She finally wore it.
Yeah. Okay, so she's wearing a chicken suit. The two bullies from the
And I'm
last.
going to say this before you go any further. I'm not one to say, maybe you're a little too old to be trick or treating. I don't give a fuck. If you came to my house and asked for candy on Halloween, I'd hook you up, but they look a little too old for trick or treating.
You know what? I don't mind as long as you're in a costume. You can be whatever, 80, whatever. If you're in a
But I
costume,
mean, like, they look at their age and shit. They should probably be like trying to sneak beers and smoke weed and maybe kiss the tip of a dick or something.
right. But, like the thing is in this one, the bullies, one bully in particular, he wants to scare people. And he really wants that mask that Curly Beth was wearing last time. And he doesn't get that mask, but he gets a different mask, Tom, by going back to that old fucking mask shop. It's closed, but it's not closed, Tom.
Well, no, it is fucking closed
But it's
because the guy who ran it was a fucking idiot. He shut the shit down at 5 o'clock on fucking Christmas Day. I just told you I drove past fucking a few Halloween stores and the shit was packed as fuck. No, I have to close at 5 p.m.
so he steals another mask, kind of like Curly Sue did, right? Curly Beth.
No, she fucking at least threw some money at the fucker and then felt bad, like, oh, I should go back. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But he's standing there all spooktacular and flips the sign closed. This fucking fuck face just fucking took that shit and bolted.
Well, he's a bully. It's like in with his character.
He is a little cunt.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, he puts this mask on, and that's not good. If you've seen the first haunted mask, these masks, they do things to you. And with this guy, it makes him thirsty, makes him old, makes him not feel good.
What? I need some water.
He goes water treating, so thirsty. But the thing is, like, he's approached by the old man who is now wearing the haunted mask, which came out of the grave, turned this way and that, looked around, went and got him this guy, and he's like, got a suit and shit. Thing is, like, hey, get that mask off you if you get us old Curly Beth. We need Curly Beth over here.
No, no, they want the object of love. Sorry, they wants the object of love.
Oh yeah, that's right. She's got like some vibrator or something at her.
No, it's the plaster head, you fucking pervert.
Oh yes, that. Yeah, the plaster head. Like, bring the plaster head to us so we can ensnare Curly Beth. And Curly Beth, she's oblivious to all that. She's having a good time, man. She learned her lessons last time, and she's hanging out with her buddy. Now she's wearing the chicken suit, doing a chicken dance. Just having a good time. But when she
Then they did the chicken dance.
when she finds out that shit's going on, she's like really serious. Like, she knows how evil these masks are, Tom, and she wants to put a stop to it. And even though this guy was her bully, she's not gonna let him, like, I don't know, be hurt or whatever.
Even though he went up to her house, tricked the fucking mom into, hey, you give me some water? And when the mom runs to go get some water, he fucking slinks into the house and steals this plaster head.
This object of love.
Even though, like, nothing in this episode even references an object of love that fucking he needs to take the mask off. I guess that's just a thing for the bitch masks.
Yeah. Anyway, so the haunted mask. I don't know. They get to the cemetery or something, and so the haunted mask, as long as it hits Curly Beth, like, it's gonna fucking take her over, which is what it wants. But the bully guy that has the old man mask on pushes
But
her.
before that, he fucking brings him the head and says, I brought you that. But before that, this guy couldn't have a better time just going around going, oh, booga, booga, booga to people and just
He was scaring.
scaring the hell out of them.
He was being a dick. Yeah.
So then we go
But
fast forward.
Queen, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to scare people. It's not like
Oh, I need candy to get my strength back.
I need
He was,
energy. Can't. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he did that.
and he's like, oh, now I'm so thirsty. So then we fast forward. He brings the fucking mask maker wearing the haunted mask. He brings him head. You see, Joe, and then he says, "I present you with Curly Beth's head. Now smash it!" Oh shit! Oh shit! I wasn't planning on doing that. Smash it or I'll kill your family. So he fucking smashes that shit and it's never brought up again. No one ever asks, hey, what happened to this fucking head? Did you take my Hey, where did that what are
Yeah,
all these pieces on the ground?
Where's my Prince Adam prop? Yeah.
Mm, never brought up again.
Mm-mm.
So then they all show up at the graveyard, Joe, and now you can continue.
And the thing is, like the mask, this haunted mask is floating around, and it needs to fucking, I guess, get onto Curly Beth, and that's what it's about to do. Except for the bully wearing the old man mask, he pushes her down, like get down,
Move, bitch, get out the way, ho! Fuck
right?
that shit, get out the way,
Get
ho!
away! Get fucking ludicrous. Pushes her down, and that was an act of love.
And unfortunately, she hits her head on a tombstone and fucking bleeds to death.
Well, doesn't die, but she's just like kind of like not there anymore. I don't want to say retarded because that's not a word you say these days, but yeah, um, yeah, and that's all it took to defeat the
Just
mask.
a traumatic brain injury.
Haunted mask. It's like, oh, I push a bitch, you know.
So he's just able to get the mask off then. Just like, oh, well, shit, I found the line on the mask finally, which is a weird thing they keep saying. There's no line on the mask. I mean, seam or.
She's done. And yeah, so the thing is, like, it's not all over with the hidden mask, the haunted mask. Turns out it's floating away, but the dog catches it, and like we're led to believe it's gonna
All
be
right,
like,
so after they all fucking muck around in the graveyard, get the masks off, and become friends again, they all go to one of the kids' houses. And they're fucking around with their candy, whatever they got, doing that shit. The mom comes in and says, "Hey, I'm gonna make some hot chocolate." And the kid's like, "Oh, thanks." So the kids and the dog are romping around in the room, and old Curly Beth's like, "Hey, Steve, we need to burn these fucking masks, ho." Steve says, "Okay, okay." So they throw the masks in the fireplace, and there's a weird, I don't want to call it CGI, even though it was. I want to call it like a Photoshop effect. So the masks kind of melt without getting burned.
they
And
curl up. So
and then the haunted mask OG floats out perfectly out of the fireplace. And the dog, by this time, everybody but the dog leaves the room to go drink their hot chocolate. Wait a second. The most fucked up thing I'm glad I remembered about this shit. We got to go almost all the way back to the fucking beginning. Dude, god
dun,
damn.
dun, 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 dun.
Hello, welcome. I wrote the Goosebumps books. So these fucking kids are leaving the house, and the mom's just like, "Hey, try and come back by midnight." What?
Right. I said,
They are
what the fuck,
not old
midnight?
enough at all. Like, I can buy these kids experimenting with shit, but I can't buy this fucking bitch saying, "Oh, make sure to be home by midnight." So, anyways, it's about fucking 2:45 in the morning. They're all drinking hot cocoa and shit. They leave the dog alone with these toxic, they're not toxic. I can't say that shit. If I didn't make latex masks, I could. But they're just the dog's in a room with this burning latex and shit. And the mask just flies out of the fucking thing perfect. And the dog's like, "Meow." So of course then you think, "Oh shit, gonna be the dog." And then you remember, oh no, that was just fucking Son of the Mask.
Yeah.
And the dog never gets the mask or anything, even though that's exactly what, if they just cut it off there, it would have been perfect. Not perfect because this is a fucking kids show or whatever, but it would have been good if it just the dog went, "Meow." Hey, how did you like that episode?
No, well, they show like The dog digs a hole, throws the mask in the hole, and I thought, this would be cool if he pisses on the mask, but he doesn't. You know, doesn't even cover it up, but it's implied that he's like burying the mask.
And Goosebumps is very like I don't want to say notorious for, but they had like a rule book and it specifically said no blood or slime. So I kind of knew that no pee pee was going to come out, but like that whole scene should have been thrown out the fucking window.
But yeah, and then it cuts to Orlstein. Wasn't that frightening?
Happy
Yes,
Halloween.
so unenthusiastic.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, fuckface, how much you getting paid for this shit?
Like the worst fucking horror host ever. And I got real sick of the fucking Crypt Keeper with his puns and shit. But it's like, god damn, this guy looks even more dead than that. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, I mean, having read some Goosebumps books, going back and watching this, and when the Man Thing series came out, fucking doing that, dude got lucky as shit. I'm not one for books, and I can't tell you, oh yeah, this book's really good. This book, like I make jokes, but really, the fucking books in general are fucking wordy. They got to describe every goddamn thing. Like, oh yeah, that makes you just fucking a great writer because you're describing fucking everything. I think this dude just got lucky as shit that he was able to fucking ride this book a month club or whatever for fucking how long he did, and it became this thing because that dude's like a fucking charisma vacuum. I don't know what the fuck. The stories aren't great. Fucking the M. Night Shyamalan of children's books, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I can say this though about the Haunted Mask 2. I could say two things. It's one of maybe like 3 or 4 books that I've actually read all the way through. And this was the only book that I never put down. I remember taking this shit to a fucking restaurant we were going to and fucking reading the shit the whole time. Like, I can't fucking tell you what was different about the fucking book in the movie. That was a long ass time ago. But this was one of my favorite ones. But
It's Tom that you got through that 60 pages of oversized print. You know,
dude, I fucking hate reading. Like it has to be something in school where they just like drilled it into you and it was like some kind of mandatory thing and it just stuck with me like fuck school. Yeah, but I don't know. Again, rewatching this, I was fucking again embarrassed by the mask I made looking nothing like it. I was like, oh shit. So it's another one of those things you just look back and be like, God damn, technology sure did fucking change. Like when I was getting pictures for this thing, I was just doing a quick Google image search. Like before, I had to do a VHS rip and
Mhm.
fucking screen cap shit. Now it's like crystal clear images just pop right up. Unfortunately for you, I have no interest in making any Goosebumps stuff again. Even this will probably be the last one I fucking make, unless someone. I mean, it happened this year. Someone's like, "Oh, can you make me one of those masks?" I guess. But yeah, just seeing the fucking been drinking. I don't know, Joe.
Well, I mean, and this is no joke. Uh, After reviewing, watching the Haunted Mask 2, I was inspired, Tom. I thought, fuck, you know what? Nostalgia's the thing. I'm gonna make some Haunted Mask shirts, and they're gonna just fucking sell. Uh, I'm just a failure. at every fucking thing I do. I can't sell shit. I fucking suck. I I've got some obligations, some bills I'm gonna pay, and then I'm just gonna fucking bite a bullet.
I was really hoping that today would get me a couple bucks towards the old bills that are coming in 2 days.
Yeah, got some bunch of fucking bills coming up.
In 2 days.
Yeah.
And one of those days is a weekend.
Yeah, how much money's gonna come in on a Sunday? Well, the market I was supposed to do tomorrow was canceled, so nothing, not a thing. Woo!
Oh, at least we can live, laugh, love.
Oh fuck!
But hey, Joe, would you recommend an adult go and rewatch Goosebumps or watch it for the first time?
No, this is definitely a kids show. This is a very, very Caucasian show too. There's like no fucking ethnicity in this cast whatsoever. Uh, This is probably one of the whitest shows I've ever seen. I haven't seen any of the other episodes, so they're probably the other episodes are peppered with like maybe Hispanics, Indians, African Americans. Probably
Hey,
right,
fucker, African Canadians.
right. There's probably nothing but white folk in this whole fucking show, right?
No, Attack of the Jack-o'-lantern, I remember a black girl in it.
Okay. She the one that gets attacked.
No, I think she's actually the one who's in on it.
Hmm.
Riding my pony. Do. Yeah. I mean, I can dig it. I can dig the nostalgia in this being like your entryway into horror and shit, and you still have love for it. I mean, we seen today there were a few people walking around fucking wearing Goosebumps shirts.
Not much.
Fucking this came to mind to pick it for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Nothing doesn't resemble it too much, but few people have these surprisingly, and thank you for that, especially after watching this HD remaster. But yeah, like I said, I mean it's good that it was. Um you don't really hear much about Goosebumps these days
No, that
unless
like there is a new Goosebumps series.
no, that's what I was gonna say. Unless they make the movie or this new series that comes out, but I don't think kids give a fuck. I
No,
think fucking
uh,
late 30s, early 40s are
yeah,
watching this shit.
yeah. These movies and this new TV show are not made for new kids. They're made for the nostalgia.
No, they're made for new kids, which
Mm,
is fucking weird because those two movies were fucking made for children. That's not a thing for people my age to go watch, which I did, and I was like,
are
ugh.
they're made for people to like? Hey, let's go watch this because I liked this when I was a kid, so you're gonna like this too. And that's not the case. You can't expect your kids to like the shit that you liked. They got to find their own shit,
They like Freddy's.
but they're not making, well, yeah, maybe, you know, maybe that's their thing, or they're going to like have a show about YouTube videos, or something. I don't know, but I,
Yeah, I
I
just not that I fucking hang around kids or anything, but I don't see Goosebumps being this big thing around children that they have to make these new things. Ride it, my saddle. That sucks. Like we know what the music is, but there's no way that we can fucking actually vocally do the.
You can't replicate that. You can't.
It's
Um.
lightning in a bottle.
You can't. Yeah. You can't replicate genius.
Mm. So yeah, it was what it was. I'm glad. Like last week, I said it's good that it was, but I mean, it kind of still is, which isn't great. If you want to do this shit, I know they say anthology movies don't make money. However, if you make an anthology movie and you put the Goosebumps name on it, make it for adults, the people who grew up watching the shit, and just kind of, I don't even know, because the books are like so pussy.
They are.
So I don't even just go back if you have to watch the shit and be like, yeah, I remember this, but it's kind of weird if someone would be like, oh yeah, that's awesome. Like, what are you fucking soft in the head? So yeah, I don't know. I don't even think I could say, yeah, just make a movie or whatever for the people of now, but fuck no. Why? So yeah, I don't know. Sorry.